Hey, Facebook, what up? Hey, this is Ron over at CT RIA. So, hey, I'm in the new training center. I don't know if it's new anymore, right? It's been open for like 4 months, so it's not new anymore. It's just a training center. So, I wanted to share a tool that I use to run my real estate business. And some of you are going to roll your eyes when you hear it, and I totally get it. But I got to tell you, it's arguably the most important tool I use in all of my real estate. And not only in my real estate, in my life and in my business, okay? So my life, I'm a simple guy, right? You guys know me. But people think that because, I have a background working for the founder of the Home Depot for years, and I've enjoyed some success because of that. I own a lot of real estate. I own a RIA. I own several RIAs, in fact. So they must think that I'm more sophisticated than I am, and I assure you, I really am not. And I think some people get into the mindset that, it must be complicated, or, it can't be that simple, and I don't possess those skill sets. And let me tell you, I don't possess those skill sets. I'm not a hyper-organized guy. I'm actually an unorganized hot mess. My wife will tell you that. So, but what I am good at is structuring businesses, promoting businesses, how to structure my LLCs, and I'm really good at that, but I'm not organized, and that's so important. So one of the best tools I use, and I know you're gonna laugh, but I've been doing this for years, and I run a pretty big business on this. So, all right, so it's this. See this wall here? I'm gonna kind of walk here so you guys can see it. So there's a big TV, it's an 85-inch TV, it doesn't look it from here. That whole wall is a whiteboard. So a whiteboard is so important. So I know you can go to one of the big box stores and buy a little whiteboard and write a few notes on it. No, don't do that. Do this. Here's what I buy. I buy this whole wall. I can write on it, right? You've seen me do that, so I can just do that. I plan my whole life around a whiteboard. I plan my whole business. I mean, you should see I have one of these at my house. So I have an entire wall, and it's just full. It looks like the chaos theory, right? It looks like a beautiful mind without the brains, So, but I organize everything on that. So I'll strategize, it's some new ideas. So these workshops that I've been doing, this whole training center I opened was all the brainchild off a whiteboard, and I'm just spitballing ideas. I'm writing them down, because if I don't, I'll forget them. But I don't have some master software that exists. And I couldn't even tell you what they are, in fact. I don't know how to run a spreadsheet. That big spreadsheet that I kind of debuted at the meeting, and I showed on a Facebook post that's really awesome with graphs and charts. And, I had that commissioned. I don't know how to build stuff like that, but it's an idea I had. I wrote it down on the whiteboard, some ideas I could have and all that. So whether you're wholesaling, whether you're syndicating, whether you're landlording, whether you're flipping, consider investing in a whiteboard. And I don't mean one of those bullshit whiteboards, the 12 inches by whatever. This wall cost me about $300, okay? But I can write on it and erase right. It's awesome. So I can write ideas, I can erase them. So invest in a whiteboard. On my rental business, what I did up until about 3 years ago, and we've gotten to the size where, a whiteboard, I'm the first to admit, you can't run your entire business on a whiteboard after a certain point. But up until about 3 to 4 years ago, I did. I ran my entire business on a whiteboard. So all my properties were there, segmented by properties, then tenant, then their unit number, then the amount they paid, and I did a series of check marks. It's how I did it till about 3 years ago. So if Smith was paying, in unit 2, and this is exactly how I wrote it, and she paid $795 a month, then it's separated by property. So what I would do is when they paid, check mark. That's literally how I did it until about 3 years ago. If they didn't pay, then they got this. So I had a visual reminder. I could look at my whiteboard, and my wife rolls her eyes to this day that I did that. So I could visually look at my board and see who didn't pay. And if I went on vacation, what I would do is I would take a picture of my whiteboard so I can always have it, down wherever I happen to be. So up until about 3 to 4 years ago, that's how I did my whole business, and it worked great, So, I've since evolved, they tell me, into some big software that I don't even know how to work. But consider getting a whiteboard, guys. It sounds crazy, but you'll find that there's an organizational chaos that happens when you're writing down ideas, and a musician will tell you when they wake up in the middle of the night, they'll have a thought and they write it down to keep a pen and pad next to their bed. This is my pen and pad. And so I did it here, and our students and people who've done those seminars, we do those free workshops, and sometimes they're not free, but those workshops, were all born off my whiteboard at home. So if we went to my whiteboard at home, and I should do a video that I can show you. I've got like 17 workshop ideas that I want to do, but those are all just things I write down. So guys, I use a company called Remarkable. That's the paint here that you paint on the wall, and it's not cheap. It's like $300. And they do sell cheaper ones, and I've tried them. I won't name them, and it just didn't work. It worked, but not really. So Remarkable's been really good for me. Check it out. Consider devoting a wall in your house and make it a whiteboard. It's fun. People get kind of a kick out of it, but you'll write down ideas. You'll have organizational structure, and there's just things you can write down on there that you don't ever have to erase, so it can kind of operate as your planner, right? So guys, sorry about the rambling. So, hey, listen, this Saturday and Sunday, I think there's a few tickets left, but not many. Robin Thompson, a whole weekend. That's insane. She's actually flying back up for this weekend. There's no better in the industry than Robin Thompson. So guys, if you have not grabbed your seat for this weekend in Cromwell at the Red Lion Hotel, do yourself a favor. Devote a weekend, and maybe you can have a lifetime of weekends, okay? Go to ctria.com, grab your seat, grab your ticket. It's going to be a fun time. I'm going to be there all weekend myself. I don't have to be there all weekend. I'm going to be there all weekend. So maybe you can join me. So guys, hey, thanks for watching. Hope this tip will help somebody. Sorry for the long message. See ya. Bye.